Well, sorry I haven't done a video in a while. First of all, just been incredibly busy with stuff and traveling a little while back and so on. I'm not going to make a bunch of excuses, but it is what it is. I'm back now. So, if you haven't seen this already, I did a short on this. This is a 1970 440 that somebody, I believe, has put some good stuff into. It didn't have an intake when I got it, and it was actually sitting outside for a little bit while I had to sort some stuff around, and it actually did rain on it a little bit, so I'm gonna have to go through. And I was planning on taking like the heads and the oil pan off anyways, but that's kind of where we're at now. As you can see, there is some water residue, but nothing too bad. So kind of the plan for this is if everything looks good and checks out, I want to use this in the 1966 Belvedere, the cheap thrill car. Speaking of that, it should be live now, and if it's not live now, it should be live tomorrow. We got t-shirts and stickers, so look forward to stuff like that. I've got can't really see it, but it's like a front of the car, cheap thrill, says right on it, so that's pretty cool. I got a short on that, and I got some stickers on that, and I'll come back and I'll show you more stuff like that a little bit later on. But we're gonna take the heads off, take the valve covers off first of all, and these are Iski adjustable rockers. Um, it is a hydraulic flat tappet cam. It's not a roller cam or anything like that, but this was a runner, and I have no question that it would run. Um, Once upon a time, it had a aluminum dual 4 tunnel ram on it, so I would assume based on that information, and the valve covers are super sweet. They're my favorite. It is a cast crank, as you can tell by the damper and the fact that it is a 1970. I don't know if you're going to be able to make that out or not. Somewhere on there, since it's a 70, it should say F440. But you can't really see that. There's a little bit of rust on there. I'll have to clean that off later. But it has 906 heads on it. I don't know what work has or has not been done to the heads. The intake ports look like they may have been, what's the word? May have been like gasket matched. I'm not sure on that though. I'll have to look. The block looks like, based on this, it almost looks like they went through and knocked off some of the sharp edges. I don't know that for sure though. As you can see, it's not huge casting flash like a lot of these. This might just be a good block, or maybe they did actually go through and clean it up. I'm not sure on that. These push rods look thicker than factory, and they're all adjusted really nice. I mean, they don't move up and down at all. They do spin as they should. But yeah, we're gonna pop the valve cover off the other side, and we're gonna take the heads off and see what we have for pistons. And it's got the direct connection timing cover on it. And if anybody, and it's got a 7-quart Mylodon pan. If anybody can tell me anything about these motor mounts, I haven't seen them before. I don't know if it's just a solid motor mount, or if I'm missing out on something, or if I'm just not thinking about something. Obviously, it had different motor mounts on it than factory. And this was in a 1970 Roadrunner, which was the same K-member as the 66 Belvedere, so that oil pan should clear perfectly fine. So, yeah. And the shop kitty's going to try to help. Yeah, she's just going to get in the way. But, yeah, we're going to tear it apart. Another quick little thing. This is just a Harbor Freight engine stand. I'm impressed with it. I've had cheap engine stands before, and this one's no different, but you go through, it's just like the little details, all the bolts and nuts on everything, on all the wheels and everything. They're all like coated with like this black phosphate or something like that, even on like the head unit here. They're just really nice hardware and stuff. No problems with it yet, and it was $150-ish, you know, it depends on your location probably, but it's just a run-of-the-mill Harbor Freight, but it says it's a 2,000-pound capacity, which was important to me because you see a lot of others that are like 750, and, you know, 750 would probably be fine, but I don't really want to put an entire complete 440, especially one like this, onto a 750-pound capacity. I feel more comfortable with this. This said it's a 1 ton. It's a 2,000-pound capacity. You see right there. So, anyways, I'm gonna get to tearing this open. I'm gonna get the valve cover off the other side. Gonna pop this head off. I already got some of the bolts loose, and I will jump back into the video when I get some more progress done. Well, as you can see, I got the head off. Yeah, I don't exactly know how to feel about the findings. It's There's a lot of good, and there's a lot of I don't really know what's going on here. Um, First of all, look at the cylinder wall itself is just absolutely gorgeous. In this little line, there's no ridge, there's nothing. I mean, I can't feel it with my finger. I can't catch fingernail on any of it. But it's clear that this was running for a period of time. Definitely was not tuned right. Definitely was not. Um, I mean, it looks amazing. As far as the cylinder bore itself, like there's a little scratch there, but I mean the cross hatching is great. The Everything looks just great. And the overall height of the piston, it's very, very close to zero. I mean, it's for sure less than 20 thousandths in the hole, which is a good thing, compression wise. What's not as much of a good thing compression wise is the valve reliefs. I don't know, you know, they don't look like very big valve reliefs. I mean, it's I'm trying to get the light right here, through the middle, that's just flat. But then it's got the little dip in the middle with the little hole in the middle, which I've never seen one like that before. They're not very big valve reliefs. I mean, it's probably not much more than a few cc's, really. So, and I don't know if they needed that because of the cam, and I'm not sure if they needed that because this is what they had for an option for pistons at the time. Like I say, I don't know when this was built, but if I had to guess, it was probably some time ago, at least a little while ago. Another interesting find, not that it matters, but there's coolant in the block still. Nobody ever drained it, so I'll be probably going through and draining that, as well as any other passages and such. The short block is staying together as long as the bottom end checks out, as far as like there's no copper showing on the bearings and stuff. The short block itself is staying together. The cam, I don't know. I haven't really looked at it all that close. It does have some wear on it, but not bad at all. So we'll have to just see where it goes from here. These push rods all look great. They're all straight from what I can tell. So yeah, that's all pretty good news overall. And then the cylinder head, I don't have a whole lot of light here, but the cylinder head looks good. It's got some carbon on it and stuff, like the pistons and all that do as well. But if you look at that, and you guys tell me, I don't know if that looks like factory machining, or if it looks like these heads may have been cut a little bit. You definitely tell me what you think. These are 906s. They look like they have stock valves in them. I will go through and I will measure them. They should be, and don't quote me on this, I should remember this, but if I don't, it'll be embarrassing. 208 intake, 174 exhaust. That's what they should be, if I'm remembering right. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I think that's right. open chamber heads. So I don't know if they needed the valve reliefs for the cam, or if that's just the pistons they wanted, or they didn't want excessive compression. These came factory, 10-to-1 compression, and the pistons with stock 906s, the pistons, if I'm remembering right, should have been from the factory about 35 thousandths in the hole. So with these being, if I had to guess, 10-15 thousandths in the hole, even with the valve reliefs, we should be at 10-to-1 or better, which is good. I've seen a lot of tests on low compression engines and what they can do, and if I'm starting out with something higher compression, it'll do even better. So that'll be good, especially for naturally aspirated stuff. I'm not doing any boosted or supercharger or anything like that. This is just going to be stock naturally aspirated stuff, and it definitely looks like it was running very, very excessive on the fuel side, so that would explain the story of it having a tunnel ram at one time. So it's all kind of adding up. Everything looks good the way it's supposed to be, so I'm not worried about any of it, but I'm going to take the other side apart and keep this video going a little bit, so I'll see you guys in a minute. Well, I got the piston on the 440 a little bit cleaned up, and you can see the number is L255, and it says it's 40 over, and there's a little arrow and everything. I looked that up. It's got 7 cc's worth of valve reliefs, and I did a little compression calculator. Assuming that the heads haven't been cut and that the deck hasn't been cut, it looks like they're sitting about 10-15 thousandths in the hole. It should bring compression about 9 3/4 to 9.8, 9.82 or so, depending on how far in the hole they are. But I got the walls cleaned up. You can see how nice they are. And then another thing, I want to make a little correction. I said I think the valves are stock. They are definitely not. The intakes I measured, they're 214, and the exhaust is 1.81. So these are really good. As far as just having upgraded stuff like that is always nice. And then we tried to do kind of a rough measurement for the cam with my caliper. I don't know where it is right now. I have a dial caliper. Measure kind of from this face to the bottom of the what's the word? The bottom of the rocker arm, and measured it at the base circle, and then measured it at top of the lobe, and looks like it was right near about 480 lift, 0.480 of an inch of lift. That's not bad, but it's not really big enough for what we're wanting to use it for, so we might end up going with a different cam. And that was just a rough measurement. I'll get the damper off and the timing cover off and look at a cam number on the front of it and get an exact answer as far as what it really is. So be looking forward to that, but I'll cut the video short here. I don't want it to be like a 20-minute long video or anything like that, but that is pretty much it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.